Hey everybody, welcome back to Woodland Road Fun Fair. In this episode I'll be decorating 4 rides: Cube, Elixir, Carousel and TriStorm. And I've got to keep it very simple because I'm going for 4 decorated rides in 4 hours this time, which is, as I explained in the last 2 videos, a bit of a challenge for me because of this temptation to add a lot more detail than is useful or essential when trying to build a complete park in a small number of build sessions. So getting lost in the detail means I just don't finish it. So the ideas or the concepts are as simple as I can think of and still get away with calling the ride detailed at all. So for the Venetian Carousel, for example, really is just the queue and a few trees. There's not much to it, but the others have a bit more to them. And each of them, in this case these 4, all hark back to things from when I was a kid at school. So in the case of the Rubik's Cube, I was a bit of a Rubik's Cube fan. I couldn't do them blindfolded with one hand like people are doing these days. I don't even think the cubes could take it then. They weren't constructed well enough, but I could do a Rubik's Cube in about half a minute, two-handed with my eyes open. And so it was quite a popular toy for me as a kid. So when I saw a ride called the Cube, I always wanted to decorate one as Rubik's Cube. So that's what this one's about. And then, now there was issues with the colours on this. I don't know why, but these large expanses of coloured metal wall, it's very difficult to get the colours to display correctly. So this what would you call this thing, the sort of entranceway cube that I've got up in the air, the colours all look fine up close, like the yellow there, the blue, but when you move the camera away about 20 odd meters, see how it all just greys out, and it's just grey depending on which way the sun's shining on it, which is a bit disappointing. I think looking down on it, the colours were okay, but looking at it from the guest point of view didn't really work. So not sure whether that's an issue with the power of my graphics card or what, but anyway, it is what it is. The Venetian Carousel, what did I do there? I kept that very, very simple because that reminded me of one that I used to see at Royal Easter Show in New Zealand when I was a kid. The Mr. Mixer, that I don't know whether we had those in the winter show. But the TriStorm, I always used to think of it as something called an egg beater. We always thought of it as like an egg beater. Or the Mr. Mixer, anyway, for this one I just wanted to use red, white and blue. Now I think there's a whole American theme now, but of course red, white and blue is not just American colours. A British flag, Union Jack, or the tricolore in France obviously use the same colours, and so because of the colour pattern on the ride itself, I set that to red, white and blue colours, and then I just put the base on there. So I thought that was a way to get it done very, very quickly, and then put some of that hedging in to just pretty it up a wee bit. So that was a fairly fast build as well. And then TriStorm, not entirely happy with how that turned out. What I wanted to do was combine up a whole pile of neon, sort of an effect, but the coloured signs that provide the bright sort of neon shiny coloration, it wasn't particularly successful. I wasn't super happy with that. We're going to see that in a moment, I think. So that's the 3 colours of the Elixir done there. Oh yeah, just putting a sign on. And then you can see the Carousel sat next to it, which is just going to get a path and a couple of trees, and that's done. Yeah, this neon thing. There was a ride when I was a young fella where the queue for the ride, and in this case I just did it for the express queue, was through a shiny neon tunnel, and that was what I remembered, and I wanted to try and reproduce that for the ride. But doing curved tunnels in Planet Coaster, as soon as I started thinking about how I might pull that off, I thought, yeah, that's not going to happen in sort of 30 or 40 minutes. That's going to take a long time. So I abandoned that and just used the sort of neon tunnel effect just for the express cube. So in the video now you can see I'm just putting up a wall between the two rides. And yeah, what else is interesting about this project? I think the challenge of trying to do something that's creative and interesting to look at, or challenging even to reproduce or whatever, is strongly offset by this problem of giving myself a limited amount of time. I think 4 and 4 hours really crunched the creativity down to the point where they become rather dull and boring. So I mean, the cube's moderately interesting. Oh, there's the tunnel I was talking about, just creating that sort of neon or fluorescent tunnel, and I made up for it by putting these arrows on the main cube. Yeah, I've probably overdone it, so I think in the future sessions I might back it off to sort of 90 to 120 minutes per ride and give myself a bit more creative freedom to do things like I've been doing in the previous videos. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this video, and in the next video we're going to be looking at what have we got coming up? Psychola, Magic 12, Hyperspin and Teacups. Yeah, that Psychola one I was pretty happy with. There's a couple of shots of that coming up in a minute. Dr. Psychola, the crazy inventor, and Magic 12 of course. Hyperspin and Teacups, yeah. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video. Bye for now.